Welcome to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with me, your host, Brandon Foster. Are you a badass peep with big dreams, ready to turn your unrealistic goals into reality? Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. The unrealistic can suddenly become realistic for you if you believe it. Are you ready to take your dreams and results to the next level? Then stay tuned as we help crack open the door to new ways of impactful thinking and believing about yourself with mindset practices for badass people like you. Confident AF Live starts right now. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Confident AF Live. My name is Brandon Foster, next level mindset expert, teaching you the secrets that the top 1% uses for their mindset, including the secret sauce that I love, co-creation. You and God doing the thing to change the world with the gifts he put in your heart. If you missed last week's message, I really want you to go back and listen to it. It was about desires. It was amazing. So check that out. Today, I'm going to talk about the 7 things that will erode faith in your life. 7 things that will erode faith in your life. And the reason why this is really impactful and important, and I'm looking down at my phone to make sure I can look at my 7 things, because I wrote this in the car the other day, is because faith is the assurance of things hoped for, not yet seen. That's literally taken from the Bible. And faith means, our assurance means promise. Promise is like a knowing. And people always go to that as like, it's cool to say in hope. But it's assurance of things hoped for, which means it's a promise of things hoped for, which means it's not even like a question. And they're just not seen yet. So y'all, isn't that like I feel like once you get that and you can get this piece, achieving your goals in life and your business becomes so much easier. Like when you realize that you don't have to know how it's going to happen and know the details, and it doesn't have to necessarily look like it is going to happen. You just get to believe and take action. Like that's the sweet spot. And so I want to today, the intention with today's episode is I want to make sure that I'm going to give you the 7 biggest reasons why you erode your own faith, because I just don't want to see that happen to you. I want to see you be way more successful about what it is that you're doing. All right. So we have to pause for a second. Technical difficulties. Okay. So 7 things that will erode your faith. That's what we're talking about today. And let's just go right into it. 7 things. So the first thing that will always erode your faith is what is, because if you look back at like that definition of what faith is what we can't see yet. So like anytime you're focused on what is, boo, like that's just not faith. Like that already exists. And it's why I always tell people, like, they'll do an action in their business and then they immediately judge whether it's working or it's not. And I'm like, boo, you just did this in your business. We need to like wait. And waiting does not mean not doing anything. It means being patient to see the end result for what you just did. So you should still be taking action in your business, but you don't realize how what you did is fully impacting your business until like months down the road. Like marketers, they talk about this all the time, that like how you're marketing today impacts your sales drastically, like 2, 3, 4 months from now. So you don't always see the result, but we just, as entrepreneurs, as badasses, we tend to like, we can often be critical of ourselves, which means looking through our business and what we're doing through a judgmental lens, which is not nice. And you should not do that for yourself. You should look through it through a compassionate and unconditional love lens of what can I appreciate of what I'm doing. Stepping outside my comfort zone. Where is God's grace already filling in the gaps? Some beautiful things are happening. and where are the miracles, replacing love with fear, that kind of a thing. And how can I improve, right? That's the sweet spot. So whenever someone is focused on what is, or we get too focused on what is, the danger of that is what is a reflection of past thoughts, past attitudes, and past behaviors, not what you're thinking today, not what you're doing today, and not how you're feeling today. So you really have to remember that, like religiously, consistently, that. And the reframe for that, by the way, is instead of focusing on what is and judging it, you can look at what is and see, how are things working out today? Where is the fruit today? Where is God's grace and love today? And seeing that propels you and motivates you to move forward. On a one-on-one coaching client call today, I told this person, I said, you do realize that you've been thinking you've been doing it wrong. So you're not sharing like with people what you're doing, but you're actually doing it right. And when people know what you're doing and they celebrate you and they say, oh my God, you're doing it right, like things are working out for you, that motivates you to do more and inspires you to do more in your business and to keep going. But when you don't let people encourage you and you don't share your wins, you don't share those things, you miss out on that and you stop believing. Faith is what keeps your belief going. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two is silence. So silence to me is, have you ever felt like things weren't working, but things weren't working and you just felt like you didn't have any feedback or you didn't know where you're going to go next? Like that is also can be very frustrating in business when you feel like there's like silence. It's like, I'm taking action and I'm believing and having faith, but like, I don't see, it's like stagnation. What I have found is oftentimes when we stagnate because we're doing the same thing that we've always done. So it's like, we have our same beliefs, mindset, and we have our same actions, and we kind of want different results, but like, you can't get different results if you don't change your mindset or change your actions. So if you change your mindset, you'll get different results. You change your actions, you'll get different results. But if you want a quantum leap results, you do massive changes on your mindset, which results in massive action changes, and then you get massive results. So number two thing that will erode your faith is just silence. When you feel like you're not getting feedback. And I'll also say oftentimes when it's silent, you should ask yourself, am I listening? Or do I keep asking the same question? Because oftentimes I don't feel like God is ever silent. I don't feel like the universe ever stops wanting to help us or that love stops being available to us. But I do feel like we can't hear it if we're always asking questions and we're not listening, which is really important. So that's number two. The third reason why we get knocked out of our faith is we don't know how. And I actually really love something. Well, so everybody that I love and adore their teachings in some form or fashion, that, whether it's Joyce Myers, Amanda Francis, Joel Osteen, Bob Proctor, like Joe Dispenza, like it doesn't matter. They all agree on the same thing. And I agree on this too, is like the how is not your responsibility. And I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges for people to wrap their heads around, especially if you are someone who is a control freak. I shouldn't use the word freak, but someone who is a control. I say control freak because I have been a control freak in the past. But when we want to control things in our life and our business, we want to control them because we want to protect ourselves. And we want to protect ourselves because something bad happened in our life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with business. It could be like someone died, like when we were a kid, or we were part of parents that got a divorce, or it could be like someone you loved and adored abandoned you like unexpectedly, and like just things just went really downhill. So because of those things that happened that were hurtful and that you couldn't control, in order to protect yourself and to feel safe, to prevent it from happening, you want to control. Well, the reason why that doesn't work as a business owner, if you want to practice the mindset techniques to the top 1%, is that when you lean on your knowledge and understanding and try to control everything, you don't leave room, you don't leave space for God to give you grace to do the crazy, weird, unexpected blessings and ways that he has orchestrated that you can never hope or imagine. For example, the travel agency company that I own, this amazing art company called the Wonderful World of Animation reached out to do like a giveaway collab with us. And they have like the largest collection of licensed Disney artists and so their artwork online. Like it was amazing and it was easy and it was a blessing. And I didn't do anything. Like they just reached out to me. And it was one of those things is like, what did I do to deserve this? And it's like, God's like, nothing. I just love you and I love your team and I love what you're doing and I'm proud of you. So just say thank you, but like, if you're trying to control and manipulate, you can't, those things don't happen because you're going to miss them. You're not going to see them because you're not open to receive them. Right. So the number 3 thing that will erode faith is not knowing how and expecting yourself to know the how in order to be blessed. And number 4 thing that will erode your faith is lack of experience, which is why I call myself the Confident AF Mindset Coach, because nothing is going to, first of all, experience helps you to build confidence. As Jim Quick talks about it, and a lot of the people talk about the confidence loop. So you try something new, you try something new, you overcome a fear, you become more confident in it. And as you grow in it and you can do it, competence increases. And then you get in confidence loop. So the more your competence increases, the more confident you get. The piece that nobody talks about is that courage actually comes before confidence. Like people think you have to have confidence first before you do something. That's not how it works. You have to have courage first to do something. And then after you do it, then you get confidence. And doing the skill increases your competence. So the confidence you have for like level 20 of your business is going to help you have the courage to go to level 30, right? But you're not going to have the confidence from level 30 until you pass through level 30. It's like beating a boss on a video game. You don't have the confidence to actually beat that boss until after you beat the boss because you have beaten it, because confidence is knowing your capabilities. Courage is really what's more important. Faith is the preemptive confidence of it. I've never said that before, but faith is like the preemptive confidence. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I believe I can do it. And I'm promised that I'm going to be able to do it. So we're going to do it. Right. And so lack of experience will quickly erode your faith. And so what I love teaching people how to do, and I have this amazing digital course on this called Confident AF, but basically one of the big takeaways inside the course, and I'm not spoiling it, you should totally do the course. It's like, I don't know, it's like 15, 16, 18 hours of like the best mindset pieces on confidence ever. Because no one had less confidence than me, trust me. The piece that I want to say is that you have all sorts of other experiences that have led you to this experience. So you need to tie in how your previous experiences and backgrounds set you up for the perfect winning strategies for where you are now in your business. The 5th thing that erodes faith for so many people is criticism and judgment. And people can judge you and you can judge yourself. I often believe that people judge us for what we're already judging ourselves for. Like, I just believe that like so much of self-criticism and judgment is just a reflection of how you're already feeling inside. And maybe you don't think you're feeling it inside, but I guarantee if you take a step back and you ask yourself, like if it upsets you that someone is judging you or criticizing for it, then you probably do have some mixed, non-clean energy going on within you, because the outside world reflects back often how we are in our internal state. And the reason why that happens is because of the separation of love. And that is not how God feels about you. That's not how the universe feels about you. That's not how you're supposed to be. So by bringing it to your attention, then the goal is that you forgive yourself, you accept yourself, you love yourself, and you release it. It's a really beautiful thing. I also have a course on that called F-Yes, Love Yourself, Love Your Life. And that reason why is because like, if you are always critical of yourself and judgmental of yourself, you're going to miss the good things that you're doing, which actually builds better confidence, better faith, and allows you to take higher risks, step out into the unknown on a higher level, which is what you have to do to have more sales and more leads and support your family better and hire more people and give them more responsibilities. Are you all getting this? Are you understanding this? Praise be, hallelujah. Criticism and judgment is not helpful for your faith. Which brings me to the next one, which is people. People. We love the people. People are an amazing way in which God blesses our lives, blesses our business, blesses our family, because everything that is created on planet Earth can be used as an expression of God's love and bless yourself, your life, and your business, including people. So we love people. People also are dealing with their own insecurities, their own doubts, their own fears, their own worries. And oftentimes they will question your decision, your desires, your goals, your faith. They will question it because they don't understand it. And because they're wrapped up in their own insecurities, fears, worries, and doubts. And oftentimes, like people that you love will question you more than other people. And if they're questioning you, usually that means that you have some own doubts, fears, worries, insecurities reflecting back. But they also do it because they love you. They love you so much. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you hurt. They don't want to see you in pain. They don't want to have to pick up the pieces. Like, so when you have this faith and they have no clue how you're going to do it, and you have no clue how you're going to do it, you can see how if they have no clue and you have no clue and you have this faith, that they would question it. And that can erode your faith really quickly if you allow it. So don't let people erode your faith. This is why last week's episode about desires is really important, about not letting people question your desires, and it's also important why you should protect your desires and protect some of your goals, your dreams, aspirations, and not share them with everybody until they're planted, their roots are firm, and you have the faith. That's the big takeaway from this. The big takeaway from this one about people is do not let people take away your faith in who you are, who God created you to be, and where you're going. Which means the best way to do that is don't share where you're going or what God put on your heart or what you're building and doing until your faith is so big that if they question it, you don't care. And your faith remains. And the last piece is do not let your past dictate your future. In fact, this amazing affirmation, my past does not dictate my future. Oh, I grew up and it was like, when Satan reminds you of your past, remind him of his future. Like, that was like, I think there was even a song. The point is that who you are, what happened in the past cannot be changed at all. So that's why you have to forgive it, accept it. It's not changing. No matter how much you want to change it, it's not changing. So accept your past. Your future is not like, all you have is today. Like, you just have today. So this is why living the present moment is so important. But with faith, when you start to desire something new, when you start to take action, have faith for it, one easy way to get knocked off a rocker is you go, well, you tried that before and it didn't work. Or you tried that, or remember that time where you got in front of an audience in high school and everybody made fun of you and thought your question was stupid. So now you're like the CEO and you don't want to get up and talk in front of people, and you might not even realize it. Actually, most people don't realize it, because most of the time, this is why people work with me one-on-one, is they're like, I don't know why I'm afraid of this. I don't know why I'm not doing this. Why am I such a badass in so many other areas of my life and my business, with sales and marketing, but I can't speak? And it's like, because you have something that happened in your past that you haven't addressed, reframed, forgiven. and you're allowing your past erode your faith in what you can do now. Happens all the time, all the time, all the time. So stop doing it. Stop letting your past erode the faith of who God created you to be and what you can do and what you can do with your business. Okay. Perfect. Beautiful. If you've not already, make sure you are following me on Instagram at Brandon R. Foster. There's some really good affirmations that we post all the time on there. Join the Facebook group, Confident Mindset Practices, because there's special things in there that you don't find on my podcast and you can't find anyplace else. And so if you love this motivational, inspirational content, you need to be in that space. And then what else? There's YouTube. If you want to see my face as I do this podcast, you can do that over there. And I love you. And I'm grateful for you for listening. Share it with people who need encouragement. Share it with other people that want to have the mindset of the top 1%. And have a beautiful and amazing day. And I will catch you next week, boo. Bye. Listening to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with host Brandon Foster on transformationtalkradio.com. Listen or watch live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I help badasses like you with big dreams learn to take their impact and results next level, turning those unrealistic goals into reality. Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. For more information, get in touch with me, Brandon, at BrandonRFoster.com.